No, go ahead, because that's a lot of men you talking to on YouTube right now.
They don't want to
So,
hear that shit.
They don't.
They
They
don't
want to
want to
block
know that.
it. Go ahead, CC.
so real quick, rereading the question because I think I answered it from her post, but it's almost like the question you had scrolling at the bottom is a little bit different than what I was thinking. Are women single because they want to be paid in a relationship? I don't think that that's why women are single, because I think that although a man's resources, his time and his money is very important to him, for the right woman, he doesn't care about spending those resources. So I don't think that that's the reason why women are single. I think that women are single because of the things that men always complain about: the attitude, our weight, and a number of other things that men complain about. Number one being the attitude. So I don't think that they're single because they want to be paid. I think it's just more so those things than it comes down to money.
How's her attitude? I don't understand. I've never understood how people can say black women have attitudes when you train every motherfucking person how to treat you. So if she has an attitude, she's saying you're a bitch. That's all she's saying.
She don't
Her
respect
attitude.
you.
How so?
She don't
When,
respect
I
you.
guess I don't understand what you're saying.
well, I'm saying women. Okay, people are saying black women have these attitudes. You got an attitude. You act like your lips are poked out and you act all mean and all this other stuff. I don't understand this. I don't. Men don't have these problems with black, green, or red women because you train everybody on how to treat you. If a woman has an attitude, you correct the behavior. If the behavior persists, you just dismiss her and move on.
I agree with what you said as far as dismissing her, but you know, I think that sometimes, and it's not just a black woman issue. Although, like, I can't remember who it was said that black gets brought into it all the time. I think that a lot of people just today are unhappy and bitter in general. So I don't think it's just a black woman issue, but can I say that a lot of women I've encountered within my circle and my family are very angry and bitter, and they get labeled the angry black woman? That's what I see all the time. When I'm dealing with women, sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with them because they always have an attitude. And I don't even know as a woman even how to approach other black women sometimes. And sometimes I got to sit back and see what type of black woman I'm dealing with. Is she going to be catty and have an attitude? Or is she going to be open and inviting and want to have a relationship and have good conversation? So even as a black woman, I encounter so many women that even just in passing, I don't even know if I can even say hello to you. So let alone whether or not men can have that conversation or interaction with women, So I think that the stigma isn't. I mean, it's not 100% of black women or even the majority. I think that it depends on who you're around, right? There's plenty of black women that don't have an attitude issue, but there's plenty of black women who do. But I don't think it's specific to black women. I think that a lot of women have a little bit of that from any culture.
Well, I just want to say this real quick. Where the black woman that has the attitude, she doesn't have the attitude when she's giving that pussy up to that guy on the back end. And I know a lot of people in the chat, everybody listen to the chat, there's a few guys that are going to understand what I'm saying. You're in the bed with the woman with the attitude telling you how cute you are, how she misses you. And then the phone rings, right? She's like, hey, how you do? Okay, baby, hold on, my phone ringing. What you want? I told you I'm going to come when I'm going to come. You get, bitch, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And then she go back to, hey, baby, like I was saying before. That's what I'm saying. The attitude is based on the person that she's around. And y'all ladies know what I'm
I
talking about.
agree.
You're right.
I agree.
So the woman that has the attitude, she doesn't have the attitude when she's giving that ass up to that asshole.
Well, I think it depends on the man though too, because when a woman first encounters a man, and it depends on the woman, it's circumstantial in my opinion, because certain types of men command respect.
There
A
you
lot of
go.
men scream about wanting to demand respect from a woman, but there's a certain type of man that commands respect, and he doesn't have to beat on his chest and demand respect from a woman. So in that sense, I agree with you. A
Yes.
woman acts a different way with that type of man who walks in a way, who has the receipts and who's verified, that can command that respect
Yes.
from women. And it's not just their woman, it's women in general that they're around because of their aura and who they are. They can command respect from anybody around them. Even other men recognize the type of guy that they are, and they get respect from anybody around in their circle. So I agree with you to that standpoint, but you do still have a lot of women, not just Black women, who have their own internal issues anger wise. And even if we go back to smiling, women that don't want to smile at people, they don't know who you are, regardless of who you are. And those women might still initially meet you with the attitude. But people have to get to know one another to know what type of person you are, or have some type of conversation with you before you get that change up or that different reaction. But I do believe that, just from my personal experience and even from my behavior, there's certain type of men who get different conversation. I start off with everybody getting the benefit of the doubt. I start off with everybody getting a certain amount of respect. Now, if a man behaves in a certain way and say certain things that loses my respect, I ain't got to disrespect that man. I just remove myself from around him. So I don't have to verbally disrespect him because I see him as a certain type of man. But there are certain things that or qualities that a man can have that command that respect from people.
It goes back to the bully, CC, real quick. It just goes back to the bully that we were talking about earlier in another show. Women don't mean to bully young guys, but they just do it because they don't respect what's in front of them. It's just it's a matter of respect.
Okay, so I don't know what other show was being referred to about women bullying young guys. I think that's a whole, I don't want to open that can of worms because that seems like that would be a big one. But I do want to address the topic. I definitely don't think Black women are single because they want to be paid to be in a relationship. I think that, like pretty much everybody said, it's an overgeneralization, and attributing it to Black women specifically is unfair on a lot of levels. I don't have any women in my circle, nor do I know any women that are, and when I first heard it, I was going, well, what does that even mean? I've heard of men saying that women want to go out on a date just to get, a dinner paid for. I've heard of men, I have mostly guy friends, so I have conversations where they've told me about a woman who has said, you have to get my nails done before you can go out on a date with me. I've heard some crazy shit, but I would say that those, from what I've heard, have been isolated, weird ass situations. But some guy has done that before. And I think the man mindset had said something about what you train people on how to treat you, and that's 100% true. So if women are used to men behaving in that way, then they may meet a new guy and expect him to do the same thing. And it's the same way, we all got that grandma or auntie that takes no shit from nobody. We've all seen that person where it's like, even if you wanted to say something smart, you'll bite your tongue before you come out of your mouth and say something crazy to her, right? But that's because she has trained you appropriately to know not to come out her sideways. So I do think that a lot of men, or I don't know if it was a man or a woman who actually made that statement, but I think this is to Litsa's point, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name. In terms of focusing on the solution, I think that there's a lot of guys on the internet complaining about women in a lot of different ways. And it's like, if that person, and I think the man mindset said this too, if this person isn't in alignment with your philosophy, your life goals, or whatever, you just move on. I don't sit around complaining about men who would never, qualify to talk to me. I don't, because it's a waste of everybody's time. So I think that there are men out there who are paying women to be in a relationship with them. And those women have been trained from that experience to do that. But I think there's a lot of real genuine people who just want partners too. So I think that we shouldn't be generalizing women or Black women as being single for that reason. So that's all I have to say. But I do have to go, and thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
And this was a very entertaining conversation, and I'm more than happy to do this again sometime soon. I did put the link to the globalcollective.info, which Litsa, you had asked about the information and all the specifics on the petition, and everything that I recommend to be done is listed there in the chat.
I know you guys saw this that was going on in society. Honestly, I didn't know that he cheated on her, right? So if you guys don't know about this story, it's a famous soccer player that decided that his wife wanted to leave him, right? And she thought she was gonna get some of the assets that he had. I think he was worth 70 million in the divorce. But lo and behold, this smart man decided to put everything in his mom's name. So basically, he doesn't have anything to his name. So he found a loophole. So basically, he can basically get, sorry, I'm saying basically too much. Sorry. He can get support from his wife. She's an actress / actor worth $3 million. So my question is, and everybody doesn't have to respond, should Black men in the US start protecting their assets from their wife?
Oh God. Oh God.
I don't think Black men in general. I think all men, period.
Or all men. I'm sorry. You're right.
Actually,
I should say Black men.
all people, because shit can go sideways on either end. The one who makes the bank is going to be the one to lose if shit goes awry. So I just think people in general should protect their shit, whether you make 40K or 200K, because half of anything is a shit ton of money.
Yeah, we're looking. This is the problem with society today, because we're looking at somebody else's pockets. Now, I can definitely talk about no man should give his mommy his money to protect him. That's soft as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, when are the men going to start to have mental prenups? Meaning that before I walk out that door, this is the standard I'm going to have for myself. What is meeting a woman to me? What is dating a woman to me? What is having a relationship with a woman to me? What is having or living with a woman? What is engagement? What is marriage? What is fatherhood? What is kids? But we don't go out that door with any of these thoughts. We just walk out there and say, just because she's got a fat ass and some titties, I want to get at her. She give me some play. We have this happily ever after. We have all these problems. That's couples. Couples don't fight and argue. I don't know what the fuck y'all. They we have problems, but that's what lovers do and all that bullshit. Listen, and I'm not saying, I don't want to knock a lot of people. Everybody's living. Some people are living paycheck to paycheck. So this ain't even for you.
It is though. It is, because half of $45,000, if it's fucking gone, you got 20, and your ass is broke. What you mean, bro?
But what I'm saying is that, are you looking at her books? Or before you even bring her into your kingdom, are you doing the credit check, background check? Are you checking her finances and money?
It's not about her. It's about me and what I have and what the fuck she can take if she leaves my ass, and I need to protect her.
Why marry her then?
Right.
So don't get a prenup. Nigga, I'm older than you think, and I see all these 30-year marriages just fucking gone. So what you mean? People fucking change and they want the fuck out, bro. What you mean?
So I hear you, and I hear you. Like if you're looking at marriage as a business deal, then I agree with you. But see, when you look at it, I look at it in God's eyes, right? He's definitely gave me the spirit in order to lead right, in order to choose right. Choosing your wife is probably the most important thing you will ever do in your life. The problem is that a lot of men don't believe that. Look, if she deserved to be in the seat, to carry my last name, to carry my kids,
yes,
do you think this woman doesn't deserve to have whatever I have? Like if you're looking at it in a sense of, okay, I'm a millionaire and she has absolutely nothing. Well, I don't view her as having absolutely nothing. I view her as having value that's worth more than my $1 million. And so what the thing is that when you view women in a sense of just currency, then of course you're going to have problems. But I view women as value because I know that the leadership that I have, her value is going to increase what I have times 10. And see, that is where most men fail, because they think, oh, well, I have these 2 pennies to rub together, but I don't want her to have one of these pennies. And even if I was a millionaire, how about you get the knowledge of understanding who's right for you? See, I'm a man of experience. And the thing is, I've always had, hey, I'm a ladies guy. I have never had a problem. So my thing is, a lot of men don't have enough experience to understand who's wrong or right. Again, when you value the bottom half and not the upper half, then what you do is you go in it thinking, okay, she's pretty. I mean, she'll be great with me. I mean, that's all surface level things. Like, I'm thinking 10 years from now. How is it, if you're going to have kids with this woman, why wouldn't she deserve to have what you have? If she's not ready for that seat, there's no reason to get married. And that's I don't know why men put so much on the other gender when God is telling you, hey man, you're the chosen one to lead. And if you believe you're the chosen one to lead, then you better get your vision right and get your game tight.
But I think that some men are scared, right? They see, as Quinn said, some men, they see what's going on in society. They see the divorce rate. They see people are getting married less. They see that, you know what, I don't need to marry a chick when I'm already getting the wifey qualities, right? And they see, you know what, if I marry this chick, she might cheat on me. She might take half of what I'm worth. So I think that some men go into like marriages or relationships, I'm scared, and they don't want to be married. Like, they want to protect their assets. Some men might not even have assets to protect. And we hear that all the time on YouTube. Like, why are you worried about 50-50 or her taking 50% when you barely got 50% of anything? So I think it's more than being.
But Alan, if I eat, you don't shit for me though, right? You know, if I eat, you don't shit for me, right? So let's look at this. This is the problem. Emotional males are being emotionally driven by fear tactics. That's all. Okay. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna use 1950s. I don't want to be mean to. I like Little Black. We're all good. I don't want to be mean, so I'm gonna use 1950. So if 1950 had a problem with his woman and she dogged him out, what business is it of mine? Why do I fucking care? Because unless I do everything from 1950's conception to the moment he met that woman, then I should be concerned. But how am I looking at another man's pockets to define who I am? How does that work? How can someone say, well, there was a guy on Mars that got mistreated by a woman. Hey, you better watch your pockets because these women gonna take you for your money. That's bitch ass thinking. Men don't think like that. Why do I give a fuck what a man does with a woman or what a woman does with a man if it ain't happening to me?